are in the same directory. Okay, so if I copy, let me logo. Okay, I Control C, I copy it, I paste it here. So now at that time, and our image is logo.png, and they are in the same directory. Okay, so now it shouldn't be any problem. In image read, I just set the name of the image. Okay, F5. You see, note that the image, the window that contains the image, I click it here. So we just need to the name image file, like for example, we just write. Okay, so the second possibility, the image and the script are not are in the same directory. If so, if it is so, then we should write of the image in cv2.image read. Oh, I remove. Okay. For example, if it's in the assume that it's here, okay, it's here, and the image is in. So let me that I remove image first, but it's here, okay. For example, it's here, is here. So the script in the documents 99 the IP and the script is here. But the image is here. So with full path, we should write cv2.image read. So we should copy all this path. Okay. Control V. And then I add logo.png. Okay. So we have backside R character. When we write R here, leave backslash like a normal character. Okay, so so I go here, I paste it here. So in imagery, the documents folder, this folder, backslash, this folder. Okay, and image name logo.png here. And also I write R here. Okay, so again I press F5. Wait, let me. So again error. Let's see that I check. What's the error? Oh, it should be backslash and quotation extra an extra quotation here. Again F5. Okay, you see it works now. So even you one character rank, for example, I put Y here 5. You see error. Okay, so should copy the full path between two single quotations, and then in Windows also you need R. Of course, you can remove R. You can put two backslash here, two backslashes. It's easy. You just write R here. Okay. Okay, F5. You see, it works. R here, F5. You see error again. F5, it works. And error in CV2.wait key. CV2 write CV2.wait key. What is the error? You should say me what. Okay. Also CV2.destroy. If you press tab, then it completes. So F5. Oh, it's here. Again F5. Okay. Note that K here is, it should be uppercase. If you write it F5, okay, you see an error here. Why? Because it's case sensitive. It should be for uppercase K. Here also this D, but A and W are should be big, should be uppercase. F5 again, enter. That's it. So maybe you wrote wait key incorrectly, or maybe you didn't install, or you you should send me the code. Okay, send me to the code that I can test it. Send me the script that you wrote to me. Ahmed Sami Alwan. Send me your script that I could check it. If you put your piece up, no problem. You just you should just provide the full path. For example, copy logo here. I put it on my desktop. Oh, yeah, it didn't work. I make it copy and then I put it here, paste. Okay, it's here. So I should go to desktop and then you should know that desktop uh, you should provide its pass. Desktop edit address. Okay. Desktop is here. C user Soleimani desktop. Okay. So you should go to C users, your username, desktop. Desktop actually is here. Okay. Then I copy it here. So I check it, F5. Yeah, it works. It works. Okay. Any more questions? If you don't have any more questions, please send to. Continue. Okay, from page 139, I say only used as command line arguments in our scripts. So how we can do it? There is an example here, arg parse load image.py that show you how to load an image. Okay, we do arg import arg parse, import cv2, then we create an object of type argument parser. We call it parser. Then we write parser dot add argument. Let's see. Arg parse load. Okay, let me open it. So chapter 3, I think. Okay, arg parse load image. In this example, the required argument is pass image, which contains the path of the image we want to load. The path of the image is a string. The path is a string. Therefore, no type should be included in the positional argument because it is a string by default. It means here. It means here. Okay. We say add argument. When we say add argument, we call the variable pass image and we write a help for it. We don't need to provide a type for it. We don't need to provide a type for it. So You see, I write image here, image read here, and I use this variable pass image. Also, we store it in a dictionary when we call vars parser.parse args. Then args will be a dictionary. We can write args, index, and the name of the variable as a string. Then we can access to the uh, to this variable value. Okay, where is it? It's in chapter 3. It's in this. Close this. I go to chapter 3 here. So we have a logo.png. So I want to run this. I click run. In command line options, I write logo.png. Okay, this is another possibility. It's a new possibility that I explain. Okay, what was here? Actually, the possibilities before I gave the logo, I gave you an example for command line. If we, then you can write the path or the image here. Okay, then I click run. You see, the image is shown. So it shows him image here. It shows 2 times. One of them is image and one of them is image 2. Actually, image 2 is image read using dictionary notation, and this one is just args.pass image. Okay, that's it. Very, very easy. So therefore no type. Okay, both args.pass image and args index pass image will contain the path of different ways of getting parameters. So we will use them as the parameter of the cv2.imageRead function. Very easy. So a common app performs some kind of processing and finally output this processed image. In this sense, the processed image can be saved to the disk. In the following example, these 3 steps, load, processing, and save, are introduced. In this case, the processing step is very simple. Convert the image into in the following. I will show you. click run, I'm waiting, what happened? Okay. So the first argument, logo PNG, this image will be red, and I call it out1.png. Okay. So the logo will be converted to saved as out1. So I run it. So if I check here, you see, this is the image, the output image, output1.png. So maybe there is a question. What can we read in this, the book? Just fragrance or anything else? The voice is not clear. If you hear me, if anyone hears me clearly, please send one. One hears me clearly. Okay. Okay, so some people, thank you, hear me, so maybe the problem is temporarily. Okay. So everything that I explained from the book, from the quotes, everything that I give you in assignments, you should read all of them. Okay. So not in the book. What explained in the book, in the lecture. Okay. So everything that's explained, you know. So let me have a look on this code, arg parse load provide image. So we have two add arguments here. One of them is pass image input, one of them is pass image output. Okay, then we read the image name is entered and is saved in args pass image input. Okay, I do my best. I try to explain. Study if you have a question again. So here we have two variables, pass image input, pass image output. We take their from the command line. The first one here will be logo.png. The second one will be out1.png. Okay. So we convert the color image to a grayscale image and save it in gray image. And then we show it here and we save it. To save an image, we use imwrite, cv2.imwrite. Then I give the pass and the name of the image, and then the image that we want to save. The image that we want to save here is gray underscore image. Okay. It's easier, but there are other ways. Muhammad Rashid Mahdi to use parser args. You should use other possibilities as well. For example, we have input, or you can put the name images and on your script, but it is not recommended because it's better we give it as input to the program, the names of the images, the name of the image that we want to read the name of the image that we want to save, it's better we give it as the command line arguments, but also you can ask it by input. Okay. So to write an image, let me show you something. Document. Okay. You can look. If you go to otv.org, you have documentation. Oops. Releases. Okay, then docs. You see here, if you click docs, means documents, then you can look here. For example, you want to know about image rights. You type it here. Then you click here. It explains about image rights. Of course, it explains for using in C++, so in Python. What image right does? It saves an image to a specific file. The function image in write saves the image specific file. The image format is chosen based on the file name extension. And explanations and the example. You can see examples. So the file name is named img is the image or images to be saved, and parameters if you want some parameters. So you can use the documentation of OpenCV if you want. So I explained this image right. So this is the file name, and this is the image, the matrix that we want to save, the image matrix, image array. So this is finished. Then I go to the, okay. Any question yet? Mohammed Rashid Mahdi asked, so we can run this program without using parser arguments. You should change it. If you don't want to use parser, you should remove it. You should use another way. For example, let me explain to you. For example, let me save it. Save as, for example, here I call it test. Okay. So if you don't want to use argparse, then you make it comment. You shouldn't provide this. You shouldn't provide this, but you should say, for example, as input image, what is it? So I write example, it's .png, and also you don't want to use this, so you should also give its value yourself. For example, out2.png. So you don't need this, for example. You should change it, image read. Okay. Then you want to also, you should also change this part. Okay. So I removed those parts that were connected to archparse. So you should have an image logo.png in this directory. Let me that I go here. So we should have a logo here, or I should give its full path. For example, here, Control C, I give its full path, Control V. Also, I write R here. Then I click F5, run. You see it works. And the output image, oh, it should be here now. You see, this is the output image. If you want that this image be in another directory, then you should give its path. Okay, for example, on D. But this is a problem. There is a problem here. There is a problem here. The problem is that every time that you want to give a new image, change it. Not good. Okay, so it's better to, or for example, another way input, because also in Python we have inputs. We have a function input that we can read from the keyboard using that. So if we pin here, it works, but it's not recommended. Yes, it is easy, but for small and simple programs, when you have a complex or complicated application, then it's not a good idea. Zahra Mohsen, test argparse because it's a standard library. It's from a standard library. Okay. So argparse in the standard library. Okay. So you don't need to install it, but you can test it. If it works, then you don't need to install anything. But if it doesn't work and it complains that I can't import argparse, then you should check it. So now, any more questions? No? So let me continue. And video files. In some projects, you have to capture camera frames. For example, capture frames with the webcam of your laptop. For example, webcam. I want to read from that. I want to read frames from that. How we can do it? In OpenCV, we have cv2.capture, which is a class. which is a video files and cameras. So you can read frames from image sequences, video files, and cameras using CV2.video capture. I will show you some examples. So there is a script read camera.py. Let me open it. Read camera.py. Okay. Let me that I run it. I press F5. Oh, there is an error. Actually, it needs an argument. Command line 0. Every camera has an index. If your computer just has one, has index is 0. So I click run. So it reads now from my camera. So I put my hand there. Okay. Of course, maybe there is not enough illumination here. So it also converted to gray. Click Q. The program. So how we did that? The required argument is index camera. So you see here, I add arguments. I call it index camera. Then I create a video capture object. You see cv2.video capture, and then I say args.index camera. When I write 0 in command line, then here we will have 0. So video capture an object of type creator, and we call it capture. Okay. We can get the width of the frames using this property. We write cap.get, and we use this name. It gives us the width of the frames of the camera or captures. All of them have same width and same height. So we get the height and put it. We take FPS. FPS means frames per second. FPS means frames per second. How many frames per second taken? Okay. So the first step, it is before it, if you have connected a webcam to your computer, it has an index of 0. Additionally, if you have a second camera, you can select it by pressing 1. As you can see, the type of this parameter is int. You see here, when I use add here, then the name of the variable is index camera. This is the help, and this is the type. we write type equals int. So the first step to work with video capture is to create an object to work with. In this case, the object is capture, and we call the constructor like this. So capture equals cv2.video capture args dot index camera. You can write here 0. If index camera is 0, your first connected camera, it is equivalent to cv2 dot video capture 0. To check whether the connection has been established, correctly, we have the capture that is opened method. This is a method. This is a function in the class, in the video capture class. The function in a class. So we use this, which returns false if the connection could not be established. Same way, if the capture initialize method returns true. So here we say if capture dot is open is false, then print an error. Again, here we check it. There is a while here. Capture is open. It means until it is open. To capture footage frame from the call.read method, so to read frames from the camera frame by frame, we use read method, which returns the frame from the camera. This frame has the same structure as an image in OpenSea. If any frame actually is an image, because they have same structures. Video is some frames. For example, 30 frames per. Okay, so each video includes or is composed from a lot of images that all show very fast. So each frame actually is an image. So we can work with it in the same way. For example, to convert the frame into grayscale, we use convert color frame. Let me explain it from here. So here we have capture.read. Read returns two values, frame and read. If read is true, it means that reading a frame has been successful. If it is not, it is false, it means that the frame didn't read correctly. So here we check if return is true, it means that the frame, one frame is read correctly. So we show it. We show it in a window named input frame from the camera. You see, it is like an image. Then we do a simple process. We convert to gray and save it in gray underscore frame. And also we show this in another window, grayscale input camera. So we have two windows. One input, one of them, the name of the first one is input frame from the camera. The second one, the name of the second one, grayscale input camera, shows the color frame, and the second one show the grayscale. So now we write cv2.wait key 20. It means that it waits 20 seconds. If you press Q, if you press Q, this condition will be correct, and then break is executed. If the break is executed, program goes out from the while. Note that while is from here to here. So if we press Q, because CV2.wait key waits that you press, it waits 20 seconds. If in this period, if in this 20 seconds, 20 milliseconds, sorry, 20 milliseconds, you don't press anything, then it returns what? Wait key. We check it from here. CV2.wait. Oh, just wait key. Waits for a pressed key. It waits for a K event. If delay less than or equal to 0, it waits infinitely. But if it is positive, then, for example, 20, delay, it waits 20 milliseconds. Of course, it's not very exact, but it's a wait at least delay in milliseconds. It returns the code of the pressed key, or -1 if no key was pressed before the specified time has elapsed. So it returns the code of the pressed key. Any key has a code. Okay, any key has a code. For example, we have a function ORD that returns the Unicode code for a one character. For example, the code of the Q is 113. The code of the, for example, 0 is 48. The B for uppercase A is the of lowercase is 97. Okay, so of course, what OR bytes? Who can say me what is this number 0xFF? Who can say me what is this 0xFF? If you don't know the answer, please. Okay, you don't know the answer. Wait a second that I explain to you. So if we want to show if we want to show a number in hexadecimal format, we start 0x. Okay, that's it. It means that this number is hexadecimal. FF knows what is the 0xFF in decimal, in base 10. Or F is 15, but we have two F's. So the number FF is 8 ones in binary, i.e. 1, 2, 3, 4. Binary is 8 ones, so it occupies 1 byte. Very good. Ahmed Sami Alban. Actually, it's 255. So what is important here for us, that in binary it's 8 ones. It occupies 1 byte. So if you add something, look here, there is an ampersand here. The ampersand here means bitwise AND. Okay, for bitwise AND in Python, we use ampersand. Okay, so right here CV2 wait key 20. So it returns the code of the pressed key, or -1. Let me copy this. CV2 dot wait key returns the code of the pressed key, or -1 if no key was pressed before the specific time has elapsed. What is the specific milliseconds? Okay, so this is the code of the pressed key. For example, we press Q, then it is a bitwise AND with this. This is 8 ones. It's 1 byte. So if the code that it returns is more than 2 bytes, then the lower byte will be the same, no change. But if there is more than it, for example, the code is like this: 2, 3. So in hex. Okay, if we AND this with 0xff, then it equals, so it this is the first byte, it remains, but the second will be 0, so the result will be this. Okay, so actually what we do here is for that the code of the return key we just keep the first byte of queue. The queue is pressed, goes byte, but key is pressed, or a key that is not queue is pressed, then break that one. So it comes back. So you see, we have two windows. One of them is called input frame from camera, one of them grayscale. So I put, for example, my hand here, or a pen here, or something. I don't know. For example, I put this in front of my camera that you see. Okay. Then I press W, nothing happened. E, T. But if I press Q, then they are closed. Why? Because it goes from the while out, then it reaches to this statement. It is actually capture.release. We get an object, we should remove it when we finish. Okay. So here we created it. Here we release it. Also, destroy all windows that destroy two windows automatically. So let me that I check the explanations in the book. Additionally, actually it returns two things. One of them is the frame, and also it returns a bool. This bool indicates whether the frame has been correctly read, object. If it is true, it means the frame is read correctly, and if it doesn't read, it doesn't read correctly. It isn't read correctly. So if you want to access some properties, we use capture.get, and then we put a property identifier as the argument. In this case, we get some properties such as width, frame height, and frames per second, or FPS. If we call a property that is not supported, the return value will be 0. So I explain you capture.get. To get the frame width, we write cv2.cap prop frame width. For height, we write this. For FPS, we write this. So, any question yet? Any question yet? If you don't have any question, please send 2. Don't have any question? Okay. Thank you. So maybe we stop here for today. Or I don't know if you we can continue. But if you don't want to continue today, please send 3. If you want to stop here, please send 3. If someone likes that 1, okay. Okay, we stop here. So until page 147. Until page 14. So Yasser Salam Al-Tamimi sent. So I stop here, but if you have, you can ask. Actually, you have to read explain, okay? My explanations and the codes. But most of the questions in the exam, you have to write codes. But I think to understand the code, so explanations. Okay. Please check your LMS because I will upload some assignment. Okay, you have to log in LMS and so you be sure that you can log in LMS. Okay. So okay، في امان الله، خدا حافظ.